Hello, guys. Good morning. I've been quiet lately. That's because I've been checking out for opportunities and waiting for more confirmations before I do anything. Like I always tell you guys, I'm always analyzing the market based on the fact that I'm a technical trader. And I also then tend to read my price action very nicely and very correctly as well. So I just want to use this opportunity to discuss about what happened last week. So if you remember very well, if you've been following me and watching my videos, you can see from this level last week on Monday, after marking out this level on Monday, I told you guys that this is a sell bias, that my bias for that week based on that Monday was a sell bias. And why did I then say it was a sell bias? It was because my high and low of the week gave me a directional bias for the week. So it gave me a directional bias for that week because one, like I told you, I look out for three confluences, 3/4 confluences. I do look out also for 4/4 confluences as well. So on the Monday of it, after marking the high and low of the week, I then was anticipating this move here around this level here. Why did I anticipate this level? Because I saw the weak rejection here and I was intending to buy and to sell. Sorry, I was selling. So I clearly saw, you can see I highlighted this level here, the rejection that if I was going to sell because I missed out on the trade because I was busy doing other stuff as well. So I saw this rejection around this level and that gave me more confirmation to going for a sell. So why was I selling? I was selling because I saw the psychological level, which was acting as a resistance, and then the high of the week, which is also acting as a resistance as well. And then I saw an MO pattern. So how did I know? I'm going to fall down to my 15 minutes so we can check quickly to see how I spotted that. So I'm just quickly trying to go to that place because I zoomed in my chart. So it seems okay. Yeah. So why did I sell, or why did I have the bias for sell? It was because I saw an MO pattern. I saw this movement here, this rejection here. So I clearly knew definitely that was the trigger I was looking for. I knew definitely this is the one side of the MO. So this is the other side. So I saw this movement and I was waiting for the rejection. Then the rejection happened. So if you can clearly see from this level, I then said we're going to sell. That the market, my bias is sell. So which happened then? What happened? We're risking 30 pips to then make 100 pips. So you can see also that the take profit was smashed. And then going further, I then saw a trade continuation, a sell continuation. If you remember well or watched my previous videos, I then said I was waiting for this level for me to sell at this level. Why was I waiting for this level? Because I saw market structure that was forming. I saw a market structure that was forming. So that was why I was waiting for that level. So I saw market was going to pull back to this level. Like I told you, I was waiting for this level for market to trigger this level looking left because why? Here is a proven area that price has come in the past. So I'm just going to quickly zoom out so we can see looking left. We can see what's happening there. So zooming out and looking left, we can see that price eventually has tested this level before. Price has tested this level before. You can see price have come to this level and about as anticipating it to trigger that level before I could go for a trade continuation, a sell continuation. So this is my 4 hour time frame. So like I stated in my video I posted earlier, so I told you this level is a proven level. So that was why I was waiting for price to trigger this level. But unfortunately, price never triggered this level. But what happened? Price then went down and then went to the take profit area. But I never did anything because I stayed away from the market. So I never did anything. I stayed away from the market. So that was what happened. I never sold here because why? I was anticipating for price to trigger this level. And remember, I had a lot set on this level of 1.34000. So I was anticipating for price to trigger this level before I could go in for a sell. But what happened? Price failed to do that. It rejected with the wick looking left. Then I then stayed out because it didn't trigger my level. Then I stayed out from the market. So that was what I was seeing while I was selling that day. So if you can see very well, you can see there is a pure market structure being formed. That's why we're anticipating the sell for that week, for this week that just ended yesterday. So like I always say, I do trade when I find my confluences. I do trade when I find a clean setups. I don't chase after trade. I don't go after trade. I wait for price to come to me based on price action. So why was I keeping this bias? Here we can see a lower high. Then here you can see a lower low. Then here the rejection point, you can see also a lower high. Here also you can see also a lower low. You can see also here a lower high. Then you can see here a lower low. So what was I anticipating? Expecting price to pull back here based on market structure, which is the lower high, then a new low being formed, a new lower low being formed. So that was why I was keeping that bias, and that's why I never did anything. If you can clearly see on my chart, I highlighted or picked up my two. The reason why also I picked up my two because I was anticipating price to reject from this level. I was anticipating price to reject from this level. So the reason why I stayed that because I was waiting to see if price, based on the fundamentals that came up, I was waiting to see if price is going to break above this level, then retest on this level that I'm going for a long. But I stayed out of it. If you can see from my intermediate time frame, which is 1 hour, so you can see from my intermediate price eventually rejected on this level, and we saw a little push, and you saw I picked up my set too. You see also risking 30 pips and 100 pips. It never got to 100 pips, but I think price did. Let's see how many pips price did from this rejection point. From this rejection point, price rejected at least gave 84 pips before then reversing back. So that was what happened. But I never entered this setup because why? I was also waiting to see market break above this level. So I was waiting to see market break above this level before I could position for a buy. So market never did that and went back up. So you can see from the 15 minutes as well that price eventually rejected around this level I was anticipating for. Why did they reject on this level? Because it's a proven area that market has come in the past, retested, or have broken in the past. So you see market rejected, gave the little pips. Let's check the pip again to be very sure. So you see from this, you can see the multiple candlestick rejection. So you can see from this level, that's let's say 85 pips or 84 pips, 84.4 or 85 pips. So you see the market then went back. So that was what happened on Friday. I never took this trade. I never took this trade. So that was what happened on Friday. So this is how I literally trade. I mark out my levels. Every Monday I mark out my high and low of the week. And then after marking my high and low of the week, I then sit out to then look for other conferences and wait for price to come to me instead of then pursuing price. So this is definitely what happened on Friday. So I never got to post it because I was never in this trade. I was never on this trade because I saw what was happening. I was then waiting out because my edge is to sit and wait for price to play out before I execute. So this is what happening. So me, I'm always reading my overall time frame, which is the overall trend. And you can see from the 4 hour, the overall trend of this market, it's a downtrend. You can see. And if you followed my videos earlier, you can see that I said the bias for the week, it's a sell market. It's a sell market. So if I'm marking out or drawing out my trend lines, it's going to be like this. And you can see clearly that the market is a downtrend. So that was what happened on Friday. I never took this setup here. I knew there was going to be a rejection from this level because then I was waiting for price to break to the upside for then to be a change of market structure. So that was what happened. I never traded on Friday, so I just watched it out. So this was what happened. So if you want to learn how I combine these complexes, how I spot this movement, you just need to subscribe, like, comment for more.